Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you how to make this set, but in this video I'll show you how to make the skirt first. So look out for part 2. What you'll need your yarn. It is called Orchid by the brand Bread Heart Yarn. You'll need your scissors, your hook. I'm using a 5.0 mm hook. So the first thing you need to make a note of, since we're working on the skirt, you need your hip measurement, your waist measurement, and the length that you desire. Now as you can see, the design for the skirt that I had in mind, I wanted the skirt to be snatched at the waist here, and then you increase until you reach your hip size. If you do not want your waist to be snatched, you can just start to make your pattern for half of your hip size. I'm going to make your foundation chain, which is a multiple of 3. So I'm going to make 9, and I'm going to make my chain to match 10 inches. Now what I'm going to do is to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and I'm not going to turn the foundation chain because it is harder to put the hook when it's turned, so I'm just going to keep it as it is. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the last chain before the chain 3, and I'm going to insert my hook and then pull through the loop. So I have 3 loops, right? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to yarn over one more time, insert my hook into the same chain like so, pull up a loop, and I have 5. Now you don't want this to be tight, you want it to be very loose because it's a puff stitch, right? I'm going to insert my hook one more time, yarn over, insert the hook into the chain, pull up a loop, and then I should have 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yarn over, insert my hook into the same stitch, pull up a loop, and I should have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of those stitches like so, and chain 1, and that is your first puff stitch. You're going to chain 1 more, right? So basically chain 2. So after you've complete that, you're going to skip 2 spaces, so 1, 2. In the 3rd space, you're going to insert your hook and pull up a loop just like so. Right now I have 3 loops. Right, so you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, pull up a loop until you have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time, insert your hook, pull up a loop, you'll have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and you should have 9. And pull through all the loops and chain 2, 1, 2. Okay, so now that I've completed my first row and I have my last puff stitch to complete, I'm going to chain 1. After you chain 1, you're going to chain 2 more, so 1, 2, and turn your work. Now we're going to increase. If you're making it from the hip size, then you just do no increase and just make your puff stitch into this space. But for the waist, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into this space here, pull up a loop, basically making your puff stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop 4 times. So 2, 3, and 4. Each chain, bring your chain through, chain 1, chain 1. Yarn over. In this space you're going to make your puff stitch, and remember you want to hold the hook as loose as possible. You don't want it to hold it as tight as you would for normal crochet work. So this is how it's looking like. So yarn over into the space, you make your puff stitch. So I'm going to complete mine off camera and show you what to do when I'm at the end here. Now that I'm at the last puff stitch, I'm going to yarn over, and in this space where we made the chain 2 before, you're going to insert your hook and make your puff stitch there. And chain 3. Right, so this is the second row. So if you count the number of puffs, you realize that you have one more, which is the increase, right? So we're going to continue making our increase until we get going to turn your work, yarn over, insert your hook into the same space where we made our chain 3 to make a puff stitch. Yarn over into this space here, you're going to make your puff stitch. So I'm going to continue with mine until I'm at the end, where I'll show you one more time what to do. So I am at the last puff stitch and I made my chain 1 already. So in the chain 2 that we did before, I'm going to yarn over, insert our hook on the top of the chain 2 in that space, and we're going to make our puff stitch. This is how the row 3 is looking like so far, right? So I'm going to continue with my increases. Okay, so now that I've completed all of my rows to give him my increase, we're going to just work on the skirt going down to give us the total length that we need, right? And remember, I mentioned that I was working on 12 inches for my length, and so far I have about 4 inches, so 8 inches to go, right? So after you've made your chain 2, just going to turn your work, and instead of making a puff stitch in the same stitch that we made the chain 2, you're going to yarn over and insert your hook into this space here and make your puff stitch. So for those who desire or wanted to make their skirt without the waist, you know, the waistline here, and just wanted it to start from the hip size, just to be on the hip, you make it like this. So you wouldn't insert your hook into the space that you're coming from. Instead, you put it in the space in between the 2 puff stitches. So with chain 2, yarn over and just continue making your post stitches in each space. So you're going to continue doing that until we're at the end, where we'll continue to make our post stitch in the last stitch here. Okay, so now that I have my one last puff stitch to make, you're going to yarn over and just find the top of the chain 2 that you did in the previous row and make your puff stitch. And chain 3 in total, and then you turn your work. Right, so this is what you're going to do until you get the length, the total length that you desire. And again, after you've made your chain 2, yarn over and you put a post stitch in between the 2 post stitches here. Right, so I'm going to continue following this pattern until I have the total number of rows that I need and show you what to do when I am finished. Alright, so now that we've completed the length that we need, this is how my skirt is looking. And then we're going to make the strings or the strap so that we can weave it in, right? So to do that, you need to make a slip stitch, not slip stitch, a slip knot. And for a size small, I'm going to make 150 chains for a small, and this won't be weaving to every row. So if you want your skirt to be weaved in every row, you'll have to make a longer string for that, right? So, and I guess, so for other size, you can make about 200 to about 250. Just make a long enough string that you think that would work for the size that you need it for, or how you want to lace it up in between each row, right? So I'm going to chain 150 chains. All right, so now that I have 150 chains, what I'm going to do, where you have this string where you started the first row, your foundation chain, you're going to turn it this way, right, on this side. Now we're going to add the chain to the top portion. You can also do it at the sides if you want to lace it up from the bottom and have your bow at the top, at the waist. So it doesn't have to be at the top like I am making mine. So in that first puff stitch, you're going to insert your hook and make a single crochet, just like that. We're going to make single crochet in the space while hiding the yarn behind, the extra yarn behind. On top of the puff stitch, you make 1 single crochet, and you're going to continue doing so. So 2 single crochet in each gap and 1 single crochet at the top of the puff stitch. So I'm going to continue doing mine off camera. Now that I'm at the last puff stitch, I'm going to make a single crochet just like that, and I'm going to make the same number of chains that I had on this side to this side. So, and this is how the front or one of the panel should look, right? Now I have my second panel, and this is how it looks. And what you need to do when you have it on yourself, you tie the 2 sides together like so. So the top will be at your waist, and then I'm going to weave in one side. All you need to do is to just go in and out as you would if you're maybe lacing up a shoe. So I'll just do the other side and then show you. Alright, so now that I'm finished with the lacing, this is how it looks, and this is how it would look if you started from the hip size, right? So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.